Hi again, everyone. I'm olliemathews. This is Societal Narcissism. No contribution with this video. Before I get to the content, please go to the Rumble link and watch over on Rumble, as I'm still monetized there, and it'll help out with the channel. So nothing's come in overnight. I just got that big long one to do for Teresa. Other than that, I got nothing. I got one story. I got one sponsor for a narcissism story for someone who needs it. I'm waiting on another one. Other than that, nothing really coming in right now. So if you want to get a video in, if you can support the channel, if you want to support for someone else, if you just want to make a contribution, it'll help out greatly. Okay. So we've been in the middle of my original series, My Life with Narcissistic Parents. We are up to number 4. In the last video, I left off with talking about the baby boomers. I don't think that's where this video went based on the thumbnail, because I'm pretty sure this is about my father based on what the thumbnail was. So here we go. Hi, this is olliemathews, and this is part 4 of my series, My Life Growing Up with Narcissistic Parents. I read something. Boy, the video quality was shit back then, and it really shouldn't have been. I mean, this is, what, 2014? 2013, something like that? Today, that kind of sparked some memories that I wanted to talk about. I know in the last video I said I was going to talk about the baby boomers. Not ready to do that quite yet. Kind of wanted to tackle this because it really sparked some pretty profound memories. What it was somebody had written about graduations and the whole deal with the mother getting involved, going to a friend's thing, and just making it about themselves. And and I could relate to that because everything was made about my parents. Like I came to despise my birthdays for 2 reasons, really. The first, my mother... Right, I think this is about my father beating me up on my birthdays. It must be. Owning them because she only let me ever have one kid party, like at McDonald's, and like that. I remember that was like a breakfast party because it was cheaper, and she was just... And for some reason, she didn't like it, and that ended that. So the only type of party... By kid party, I mean like a party where you have your friends and it's just kids. No. Every party after that, and it was a McDonald's, it was a party at a McDonald's for breakfast, yet because it was cheaper. Everybody, oh, this is such a good idea, Laura. It's cheap. It's cheaper for her. Allowed to have was like these family parties at her house, at their house, that she can entertain. But she didn't want a bunch of kids running around her house. It was all right for my brother, but not for me. Which meant they invited their friends, their family, my family. None of my friends were ever there. Right. They were always at night. And it was always about, my mother. So it was always about my mother. And, whatever I got, I never got any presents. Everything I got was in cash, but then my mother would take all my money. Right. So, kind of... Or clothes, or, socks. Nothing like a kid would actually want for their fucking birthday. I mean, except for money. But I wasn't allowed to have my money. She would take every goddamn cent of it. And then they wonder, and they don't wonder. My mother would tell you, well, I know that's why you're bad with money, because I used to take all your money. Even my paper route money. They always found a reason to get their hands on my money. Always. And it just made it, like she would just always be taking my money. And they would use any excuse to get their hands, so that would ruin it. But really the main one was my father. And what my father's deal is
is he would never really lay a hand on me in the house if it was just us.
Only in front of other people.
My father liked to hit me in front of an audience to exert his manhood and humiliate me.
You're such a pussy, meat. You're such a pussy. I know which story I'm telling. I know. There's probably a couple of them here. Oh, you're such a feckless excuse for a man. Playing big man in front of people, beating up on your kid. And the other boomers went, oh, this is great. Asshole.
So, my mother had this friend that she grew up with, this childhood friend.
Fran.
And she had 2 kids my age. Danielle was a little older than...
A little more than her child. It was her best friend. Her best friend. And both of Aunt Fran's best children, Christian and Danielle, both ended up gay. Now, I've come to realize something very, very recently. I can't prove it, but it kind of falls into place. My godparents are my Aunt Barbara, my mother's sister, and my Uncle Kenny, my father's brother. My brother's godparents are my Aunt Ginny, my mother's sister, and Cosmo, Fran's husband. Not another family member, Fran's husband. Now, my mother made this whole thing. Now, we know about my questions with my father, with me actually being my blood father after, he went down in the hospital and the nurse looked at me and I confronted my mother and she all but confirmed it. But she used to talk about how long it took her to get pregnant with Michael, with my brother, with Precious. Years. We're trying for years and years and years and we couldn't. Now, my mother has black hair. My brother has black hair. My father basically has dirty blonde hair. I'm 5'8". My brother's about 5'8", maybe a little tad shorter than me. My father's 6'2" and a half, 6'3". Cosmo has black hair, olive skin, and is about 5'8". I'm not saying, I don't know. I know my mother. I know fucked up shit is going on, and I'm not saying I know that for sure or anything like that. But I can't figure out any other reason why, when there's other uncles on my father's side of the family, plenty other uncles, cousins. He doesn't have another brother, but there are other uncles. There was my Uncle Dwayne. There was Greg. Strange. So that's who I'm talking about here, and I know what story this is. I know this is my father and my birthday because Christian, the younger of Fran's 2 kids, he was a year behind me. Danielle was a year ahead of me. Christian was one of these kids that was gay out of the womb. Gay out of the womb. Everybody knew it was clear. Like some kids, you're just born that way. But he was a very screechy, loud, crying type, what you would expect. This is how he was. Wasn't his fault. But my father would make these grand statements to me beforehand, like, you're in charge of all the kids, and anybody gets out of hand and Christian gets out of hand, I'm coming after you. So that's the setup. I'm sure I'm about to tell this story, so.
Me. And Christian was like, I think, a year younger than me.
Yeah. And
Christian was one of these kids that was kind of gay from birth, like out of the vagina gay. Like, you know it, like he's like one of these people, like, you know, it's not a choice. Like, it's something was in his DNA that made him gay, and that's perfectly fine. But the problem was he was a screamy kid, and he was always like into stuff, and my father would say, well, since it's your party, I'm holding you personally accountable for everybody's behavior. So if anybody, you're going to get it. And it was 3 years in a row, like Christian would scream or do something, and here come my father on my birthday, just beat the shit out of me.
In front of everybody. And
on the last one was, I think, couldn't have been any older than like 8 or 9. Christian, you know, he's screaming, and my parents had this front atrium room with all these windows. It's called the plant room, where my mother used to have her plants. And he's in there screaming, and I'm just like, Christian, like, please. And I never even saw it coming.
I came up from behind. I'm like, Christian, please stop, please. Like, he was just screaming for no reason. Something his sister said or did, or like he wasn't like hurt. Like, it was just, that's just what he did. And then he came from behind. You fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. You fucking piece of shit. 6'2.5", knocking out an 8-year-old from behind, you sack of garbage. So you can feel like a big man. I told you. Fuck off. Oh, this is why I can't go back to New Jersey. This is why I can never even lay eyes on him at this point. I can't.
My father came around and friggin' hooked me and caught me in the mouth, and I went down, and I went sprinting to my room.
Couldn't even knock out a fucking 8-year-old from behind, you fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. You couldn't even cold cock an 8-year-old. Moron.
Sitting in the dark, crying on my birthday again. So my father could be a big man in front of people. Like, he thought, like, people were impressed by that. Like, I know how to handle my kid. I don't care if it's his birth. Like, every birth, like, why? And I remember sitting in my room crying, and Danielle was there, came up, was like kind of in my doorway, was like tapping the doorway. And I think I said to something like, Danielle, just please, just shut your brother up. And I held a lot of hostility towards Christian for a long time, like through high school and all that.
A lot of hostility towards him. I feel bad for it now. I feel bad now. It wasn't unfair. It was unfair, and based on Fran being my mother's best friend from childhood. And even though I said he was gay from birth, again, whether it's my mother's friends, my father's friend, it's just gays everywhere with these people, everywhere. I held hostility towards Christian, and I held a lot of hostility towards Fran. And Fran was nice to me. It wasn't like she was ever bad to me or anything. Like Aunt Fran. I'm like numb right now. I'm like tingling.
Why I had so much hostility towards him. That's probably it wasn't his fault. It really wasn't. But I was angry. I was angry. And, you know, it just wasn't birthdays that my father would do these things at. You know, like I said, you know, he coached Little League. And, you know, he made a jerk of himself down there. But all the fathers did. But he had to be king of the fucking jerks.
King of the assholes.
And, you know, and I said these guys all thought they were coaching. They all thought they were coaching Major League Baseball. And I remember...
So pathetic. It was so pathetic.
I was 10 years old. And I had been sick earlier in the week. And it was a...
All right, this is the Anita Guido. This is at Anita Guido's house, you piece of shit. You fucking asshole. You...
Saturday. And... it was raining and we're supposed to play on Sunday and I had been sick. And my father and mother wanted to go to their friend's house who have kids my age and we were friendly.
It was one of the groups of friends. One of the friend groups they fucking ran through. But somehow she always remained friends with Anita because Anita was the other half of the I team where they'd go walking every morning for 10 years and never lose a pound and just keep getting, the two of them would just keep getting fatter and fatter. Because the only thing they'd really exercise was their fucking mouths. Gossiping about high school shit.
We're friends and we play. But my father was there like, oh, well, we're going to go here. But I don't want you going outside and playing with anybody because you got to pitch tomorrow. And I'm like, well, I'm 10. Like, what's the problem? And I'm like, fine. So the kids are outside playing, right? And we're sitting in the front room, which is kind of like, was like a patio. We're at this guy Mike's house, Mike Guido. And I hear, and I'm inside watching TV because I'm like, I can't go out because I'm sick. And one of my friends, kid Billy Walsh, like, Matt, open the door, I'm coming in. So I go to open the door, I open the screen. And just as I open the screen, all of a sudden, from out of nowhere,
another cold cock.
Hand across my face.
Always a fucking cold cock, meat. You fucking coward. You fucking coward. Just waiting to be a big man. Just waiting to be a big man. This
wearing my baseball hat. I'll never forget this.
Fucking thing went flying.
Crack across the face. My hat goes one way. I go flying across the room the other way. And there's my father standing over me. And he grabs me and throws me into a recliner. He's like, motherfucker, I told you not to go outside. I'm like, I didn't go. I was just opening, like, and he starts slapping me again. He slaps me again. He's like, do you want, he's like, you're not gonna, he's like, you're gonna do what I tell you to do. And I can see my friends standing there watching it, and he knows they're watching it. And I remember the look, and I caught the look in Billy Walsh's eyes, and it was so sad. And that wasn't good. He's like, do you understand? And like, he was just trying to get me to like be his lapdog and to dominate me. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, yes, daddy. And he's like, and I'm like, yes, dad. He's like, so your friends can hear it. The motherfucker then left the room. And I'm just there decimated and humiliated, crying. And I remember Billy picked up my hat.
Put it on my head.
And he kind of just put it on my head. And like touched my arm. And He didn't say anything. He just left. You know, they just went back. And he brought everybody back in a couple minutes later. And they just never really brought it up again. That stuff happened repeatedly. Repeatedly. And it's something that ran in his family. And I'm going to blow up my uncle's spot here, my father's brother. You know, when I was little, he used to have this train set in his basement. And I had two cousins, Kristen, who was about a year younger than me, and Kenny, who's about six years younger than me. He's about my brother's age. And when this happened, Kenny had to be like 3 or 4 at the time. And he went crawling under the trains. And my Uncle Kenny grabs him out. Uncle Kenny grabs little Kenny and just starts whacking him.
Wailing on him. Greatest thing my father ever saw.
Like, yeah, that's what he needs. Really? You fucking idiots. You fucking idiots. Dominating little children. Making everything about yourselves. Domination. And that's what my father liked to do. He liked to publicly humiliate you in front of people. He thought like that makes him a man. So that was a
got the Alice in Chains playing again.
That was a memory that got sparked that I wanted to get out there, that I needed to talk about. It's amazing the things you suppress and you forget, and what kind of brings it back up. You know, because sometimes it is hard being no contact. And I don't even know why it's hard, because when I think, and I need to think of these stories, and I need to put them down and record them, and I need a history of them. Because it really reminds you of why you made the decisions you did and why you're right to make the decisions you do. Because that's just toxic. Who does that to a child? You know? What's your friggin' problem? Well, I know his problem. Unfortunately, I know his problem. Anybody who does that to a child, especially your firstborn son, has a problem with their own masculinity. And I know that all too well, because I'm, as my mother says, he's horrible in bed. And the fact that I know that should tell you, be a real clue of how fucked up I am.
Chump.
I'll get into I'm going to get into, you know what, I might as well get into that now, because with the sex stuff with my grandma, it's on both sides. Not only my mother with the touchy-feely, with the sex stuff, it's on my father's side, because they're a bunch of deviants over there, My grandfather had a tool and die factory, and when he went to go close it, when he wanted to retire, and he made a lot of money on tool and die, we went there, and we're helping him as he was going through. And I went into his office, and behind his desk was a closet. And I opened the closet door, and in the closet, from floor to ceiling, stacks of magazines. And I'm not talking Playboy and Penthouse, okay? I'm not saying it's exactly German Scheisse porn, but it's pretty goddamn close. 18 and it was offensive. It was, and it wasn't surprising based on interactions my grandfather had with my mother's mother, and I'm gonna get into all that type of dysfunction. But imagine this, you're a grown man. I was in my late 20s here, and here I am finding my grandfather's friggin' porn stash that he's jerking off in his office at work. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, no wonder I'm so fucked in the head right now. I'm just fucked in the head right now. It's unbelievable the hand sometimes you get dealt. And these people find each other. Like, how are the odds of my mother finding my father?
Pretty good.
You know what? Pretty goddamn good.
Exactly. Pretty good.
People attract each other.
Yeah, pretty good, actually.
So, you think back, well, what if they hadn't, your mother and father? It was going to be another narcissist, no matter what. Whether you got two narcissists or one enabler, the one was going to find another enabler. So whether it was your mother or another father, if you got it was going to happen. It was going to happen because everything is controlled by wherever that narcissistic center is. Okay? So trying to sit back and wonder about what ifs, it's like, it's futile because it was going to happen. Because you're at the mercy of this narcissist. It's what you do about it now that's what's going to make the difference in your life. Are you going to continue to let these people victimize you? Are you going to continue to let your past drag you down? No. No. I deserve to have an identity. I deserve to figure out who the hell I am, what the hell I want out of life, because I never knew. And I never knew because I had to bury everything. It was horrible. So, well, that's my story for this video. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Need to get some ranting off my chest. Feel a lot better. Feel free to subscribe, comment, video blog back. I'm looking to expand this maybe into a web show, a web channel on Ustream or something like that, where people can webcam in, call in, share.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do yet. Like, this is 4 videos in.
Share stories, and see where we could take it from there. Because I think the more people out there talking and sharing, the better the support system for everybody, the sooner we start feeling better and really start living our lives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Well, it's been 12 years, so I guess it's gotten somewhat better, right? Like I said, it's surreal going back and watching this again in these stories. But boy, if we've been with me for a while, the stories haven't changed, have they? The basis of this channel remains the same. The source of my abuse. And the source of my abuse and the stories behind it have remained the same for 12 years. It is surreal watching yourself tell your own story like that, even though I'm the one who created the video. Maybe I watched it way back when. It's much, much different impact now. Much different impact. Whew. I was in a bad way. A lot of us were. So, thank you everybody for watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, I'll have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful. Because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both channels on Rumble. Watch the video over there. Even a click helps. Subscribe to me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.